Hello, my name is Edgar Allen and welcome to Fun Beginner Build Inspiration. If you're new to Path of Exile and want to show normal who's boss, this is the place for you. Even if you're an old hand, these videos might just force you to roll another Exile. Today I'm going to be looking at the Shadow, and as Tony Stark once said, winter is coming, so make a freeze pulsar. Upon your first stroll along the beach in Wraeclast, you're going to have to resort to uncultured, barbaric melee, but never fear, upon slapping Hillock silly you'll be rewarded with the much more gentlemanly Freeze Pulse. Funnily enough, Freeze Pulse forms the basis for any Freeze Pulse build. To prevent yourself from mana starving early game, charm Nessa into giving you a Paula ring. If that doesn't work, hand over the cash. I'd also suggest buying a coral ring and a second wand to wand Zerk, because badass. Don't worry if you can't afford all these items straight away. Be sure to put them in your shopping list and grab them after the medicine chest quest when collecting your quicksilver flask. That's if the slain monsters you leave in your wake weren't kind enough to drop these items. Be sure to choose ones that have the highest percentage spell damage. It's important to note that plus blah to blah cold damage doesn't affect Freeze Pulse, so disregard this stat. When browsing jewellery, go for the highest numbers because more is always better. After taking your Quicksilver from Nessa, harass Bestel for Fire Trap. It's a fun skill and will really help with Act 1. After telling Brutus to chill, choose Clarity for mana regen. It's really important to be able to constantly spam Freeze Pulse with the help of 2 mana potions. Clarity will really help with this. Throughout your first playthrough, I highly suggest leveling Clarity to no higher than level 3 or 4. If you can manage to level it higher while still having a decent mana pool, you're probably neglecting other important stats. Speaking of stats, keep an eye out for items with armor, health, mana, resists, and again, spell damage on wands. As always, try to collect 2 of each resist ring. Knowing what type of damage your foes are using can turn a tricky zone into squishy fun freeze time. If your character ever feels a little weak, make sure you aren't neglecting any of these stats. Grab added cold damage from the Siren's Last Cadence quest. Look for an item with linked blue and green sockets so that it can be used with Freeze Pulse to give it an extra kick. Merveil can be a little tough due to her cold resists. Be sure to drop a portal in her bedroom in case you need to refill your pots. It's always best to run and live to fight another day. As long as you keep dumping fire traps on top of her head, she should be out of your life in no time. Be sure to select the rare health belt from the Great White Beast quest in Act 2. Continue this healthy theme by killing all but Oak in the Deal with the Bandits quest. Unfortunately, there's no negative arachnophobia items, so storm through the Weaver's chambers with one eye shut, stomping spiders to receive the support gem, Lesser Multiple Projectiles. If you don't have the sockets to jam together Freeze Pulse, added cold damage and Lesser Multiple Projectiles, just run Freeze Pulse with Lesser Multiple Projectiles for now. You should notice a drastic spike in your effectiveness and the fun rating will go through the roof. With these 2 gems combined, you will breeze through Act 2 and 3. For the rest of normal, your damage will be great, especially once you get the Frostbite curse. So pay special attention to mana and survivability. In Act 3, I suggest taking the curse Enfeeble from Mama Maramoa. It will come in handy if you decide to take Cruel for a spin. Once you have put Gravicius in his grave, get added lightning damage. You probably won't have the sockets to combine it with Freeze Pulse just yet, but it will be really useful later on if you take static blows in the passives tree. Before jumping right into Wraeclast and creating your very own Freeze Pulsar, let's go over the skill tree. At first the skill tree can be pretty intimidating, but if you have a rough idea of what you want to do, it becomes much more manageable. Your first stop is going to be Mental Acuity, picking up the spell damage and cast speed nodes on the way. From here, jump down to grab the percentage based life nodes. It's not hard to guess that we'll be getting all the cold based nodes through the middle here. After getting spell power, our next goal is conditioning for a nice health boost. We're now going to visit 3 health hotspots, here, here and here. I like to pick up this convenient dex node before getting the nearby health, so that I can comfortably level Lesser Multiple Projectiles. This is roughly where you're going to be by the end of normal. If you do decide to continue, make your way towards Doomcast, Eldritch Battery and Static Blows. I hope this has helped you enjoy and really get the most out of your first trip to Wraeclast. If you haven't fallen in love with pulsing your way to perfection, I think you should seek professional help. Ultimately, Path of Exile is about doing whatever the hell you want to do, so feel free to deviate from this guide as much or as little as you want. I plan to do a lot more of these videos. If you know of a really fun, effective build for smashing normal to pieces, let me know. I'm not worried about them being able to clear maps ultra fast, as long as they are fun, new player friendly builds that can laugh in the face of all normal has to throw at them. Thanks so much for all the suggestions so far. Let me know if you've got any feedback in the series, and don't hesitate to ask any questions. See ya!